Hey guys, what's going on? It's RC Knockout and I am back with another video. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nolan. In today's video, I have got more upgrades that I need to do to the 100mph Traxxas Slash Project. Now, in the last video we had this out, it ended in complete disaster. I mean complete disaster. The wing broke off, we broke a wheel, well we broke an axle, so this has happened quite a few times already, guys. We broke the stub axle. We've broken two before this, and this is the third one we've broken. We were broken and we were out of commission like right when I got started last time, so we didn't even get a good top speed in. So that was highly disappointing. So in this video, we need to figure out what we can do to actually get this thing to stay on the ground, because the aerodynamics, even with the body off, with this splitter and everything, the thing did not want to stay on the ground. So we had tons of issues. But first off, what we need to do is we need to fix this and get the wheel and tire back on. So I went ahead, guys, and I purchased a few things. So here are the upgrades we're going to be doing in today's video, guys. Hold on one second. First off, guys, we have to address the issue that we have going on with these stub axles breaking. So I bought these drive shafts. These drive shafts, they might look familiar. They're the exact same ones that I put on my Traxxas Slash 4-wheel drive. They are the heavy-duty steel drive shafts. I bought them off of eBay. They were $74.99. That's what's going on this RC, because I can't deal with continuing to break these stub axles. I'm hoping with these ones being hardened steel that the stub axles themselves are also going to be, you know, much hardier than the ones that are coming off this. And the ones coming off this aren't even the stock ones. They are the Traxxas upgraded ones. So these right here are the Traxxas upgraded axles, and they were breaking it. Right where the pin goes through, that's the weak point. That's where it always seems to break at. And I'm hoping these hardened steel ones will hold up better. So that's going to be the first thing. We're going to replace all four of those, and we'll be able to get the wheel back on. I also lost the retainer piece, so I had to order some new ones of these, which is part number 5854, which is basically the retainers that go right in here that actually hold the wheel down onto the axle. So we lost that in the crash, couldn't find it, had to order a new set of those. So we got that. What else do we got? We have got this right here. Now I need to undo this, I need to get this all cut open, but this right here is something that we really need, because I have damaged a $160 battery on the first time we ran this on 6S, and we're not going to do that again. So this one is actually some battery trays so we can run 6S. So what's going to happen is these right here are made out of aluminum. They're going to mount to the sides right where these side nerfs are. So basically it will have one of these bits on either side, where we should be able to then use some battery straps, which I have some somewhere. We'll use some battery straps to then tie them down onto these little platforms, so we don't have to deal with trying to hook it up, you know, all janky and get it zip tied onto here. So that's another nice thing that we have going on. And I think also, I might do this in this video, I ordered this Tekno Driveshaft. It is a big bone center driveshaft. I guess it is for the Traxxas Slash 4x4. It has got drive cups, so if we get around to it, I will do that. This one has not broken, but there is some hairline fractures. Right where the splines go into the drive shafts, there are some cracks, so this one is about to give way, but it hasn't broken yet. So I did buy this, so we can replace that. And also I bought this right here, which is like a foam front bumper. So I don't know, I might do something where I cut this up so we can kind of get this lodged in there, because I think a lot of air is getting up underneath of here and kind of pushing up on this RC. And another thing I'm going to do that isn't really an upgrade, it's just an adjustment, is I'm going to be moving these shocks from the innermost position to the outermost position and to the innermost position up top, which is going to give this thing a much more stable stance and kind of lower it. So that's what we're doing. Also, I realize there's one more thing that I think I'm probably going to be doing in this video, guys. Now, I bought this right here. Now, this right here, I think it's just made out of plastic, but what it is a Wheelie Bar. Now, this is not made for a Traxxas Slash 4x4. I could not find one that was made for the Traxxas Slash 4x4 Ultimate. I found a couple online that were for the Traxxas Slash 4x4 high center gravity chassis. I couldn't find any online for the Slash Ultimate, so I ended up buying this, which is actually for a Traxxas Slash 2-wheel drive. But it doesn't even really have wheels. It basically just uses bearings, it looks like, as wheels, I think. And we're going to somehow figure out how to mount this onto the back, and I basically want this touching the ground. I think the main thing we need is just downforce on the front, and then we also need something to keep it from lifting up in the back, because that's the issue we're having. So let me move the camera closer, and we're going to jump right in this video. Okay, go ahead, fast forward. It's the next day. I ran into a bunch of problems when I was trying to film yesterday. I was basically where I left off. I'm trying to remember where I left off on the video, but I basically just did the intro. But the first thing I said I was going to do was I was going to take all the drive shafts off and replace them with these heavy-duty ones, which are the exact same ones that I have on my Traxxas Slash 4-wheel drive, high center of gravity. They're these hardened steel ones that cost $74.99 on eBay. But then I ran into a bunch of issues yesterday when I was trying to work on this thing. So that's the first thing I decided to do, was replace the drive shafts. And I decided not to film it because I've done another video upgrading the drive shafts and it's pretty self-explanatory. So I didn't want to film it. But then I ran into a huge issue because one of these, I was trying to mess with getting the grub screw screwed into one of these new drive shafts while it was off the vehicle because it didn't seem to want to screw in smoothly. Like, there was a lot of resistance, and I accidentally stripped out the grub screw. And then I tried extracting it, made it worse. In the end, I had to drill it out, and that took forever. It took hours. I mean, hours to do it. And I think I have enough thread left in there. I think I was able to drill it out carefully enough where I still have enough thread in there where I could thread this grub through, and I think it'll stay in with some thread lock. But it took forever, so I do have all the drive shafts converted over to the heavy-duty ones. I did end up replacing the, it was one of the rear ones. I ended up replacing that little retainer piece because I lost that the last time I crashed and when the stub axle broke. So I replaced that. So we got all the wheels. So it's basically back to how it was. The other thing I did was I took off, I had some long screws sticking through the bottom right here. And I had like a little strap that was made out of my indestructible bodies draped over this. And I decided I don't really need that. Also, I took some of the washers out from under the splitter because the splitter was touching the ground the last time I was running it. It was hitting the ground pretty severely, and I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a couple spacers up underneath here. I had actually two more nuts under there before, and I decided to take those out. So now the splitter sits up a little bit more. And the other thing I did was, it was recommended by a few people on my channel to move the Shox from the innermost position. I think they were in the innermost, or they were in the center position. I moved them almost out to the furthest one on the bottom, one away from the furthest. I moved them to the closest ones at the top. So it gives it much more of a stable stance, I think. And I did the exact same thing on the back where I moved the Shox, the bottom ones out to the furthest ones. I moved the top ones to the furthest inward. And from here, the other thing I want to do on camera is this right here. So I have to get this cut open, but this right here is the little battery tray because I cannot fit a 6S pack on this RC at all. So I needed to figure out something else, so that's why I got this. I'll put the link in the description. I bought it on eBay, but I have to get it cut open because it's packed in there pretty well. Got to get that cut open, and then I'm going to try to install it. I know it installs on the sides right here, so I have to take off these Nerfs, or whatever these side sliders are. The other thing I was going to do is this Wheelie Bar, which is actually made for a Traxxas Slash 2-wheel drive dragster. And I'm going to have to figure out something because we need some sort of wheelie bar on this because this thing will not stay on the ground. I think after looking at it, I think I'm going to forego the wing. Because watching the video back, I don't think the wing was really helping with downforce. And all the issue was coming from the front. All the issue was air getting up underneath the front and the front lifting. It wasn't really as much with the back. So I think the wheelie bar is the most important and probably the splitter on the front. And hopefully with the adjustments I made with the splitter, it'll help keep it pointed more towards the ground. And hopefully that what I did with the Shox will really help it. And then I also tightened down these adjusters so the springs are a lot stiffer now. And the splitter's not quite on the ground. So that's what I've done so far, guys. I know that's a bunch of different stuff. I also got this bumper right here, which I believe is for the X01. It's part 6437. I don't know. We'll see. I might use it because I could push it up underneath of here, which is what I might do. I might just push it up underneath of here because it seems to tuck nicely under there, and then maybe that'll help prevent some of that air from getting up under here, kind of as a block, using this foam bumper piece. So I might do that. And I think that's really all we're going to do, guys. So let me get this cut open, and I'll be right back with you guys. I got this little kit cut open, and this is basically the contents right here, guys. It's 2 aluminum pieces right here, which are going to make up the trays. There are a couple, looks like there's about 8 nuts in here, and then it does come with straps. And basically what this is going to do, guys, is this is going to replace, this is going to go somewhere along the side. There's no directions, but I think it basically goes where the Nerfs go. So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and find a 2mm. Here is my 2mm right here, and there's 4 screws on either side. So this one here, 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 and here, I need to undo those on both sides because I'm pretty sure that's where this goes. And I assume the nuts go on the other side. I think. We will see. We'll just have to figure it out. So I'm going to go ahead, undo these real quick. This should just pop off. There we go. Just pops off like that. And now to figure out how the new one goes on. So they are different from side to side. So this one's going to be the one that goes on this side. And you guys can kind of see how it goes like a puzzle piece. So what's going to happen, guys, is basically we're going to use the existing screws right here. And we're going to end up screwing them through and then using these nuts on the back side. Let's go ahead. Let's get a screw. You guys can see it coming through right there. And we just want to get a little nut on the back side of that and get that started. Okay, we'll do this side, same thing. Get it in the hole, that's what she said. Get a little nut right here to back it. Go ahead and start tightening that down. And I will need, I'll need a needle nose, or I'll need something to actually hold those in place. Needle nose should work. So just hold on to the nut on the back side and go ahead and start tightening it down very carefully. We got one tight right here, guys. And we got this one, essentially it's on. And hopefully the fits, I mean, so far they're going together pretty easily. Let's get the last one in on this side. Get another nut on the back side. And start tightening it down. Alright, guys, and as you guys can see, we got all of them snugged down. What I'm going to do right now, guys, is for the sake of the length of this video, I'm going to do the other side off camera. You saw how I just did this. And I'll be right back with you guys, and I'll figure out how to do the straps. I've got both sides on, and I got my 6S pack out to make sure it fits, and it does fit nicely. The only thing is, I think I'm going to try to find, I do have another set of battery straps I just ordered, because these ones barely, with how big these 6S packs are, they barely get all the way around, and that's where the Velcro starts. So it's barely enough where if I got in a crash, I wouldn't trust this to hold. So I think I need slightly longer battery straps, but aside from that, it's pretty simple. I'd probably mount the battery the opposite direction so this balance plug isn't sticking off towards the rear tire like that. So let's move on to the next thing, guys. I might mess with this right here and try to figure out how to tuck this foam bumper piece up underneath it here, underneath the existing bumper on top of the splitter. So I'm probably going to figure that out, but I do need to go find some battery straps, which I will do off camera real quick. I went ahead and I swapped out the straps that it came with, and I put these much longer Apex ones on. So these ones will hold it a lot more secure, I feel like, because it wraps all the way around and the Velcro comes fully in contact. So I'm going to set the battery aside, and I'm going to go ahead and rip this open. Like I said, guys, that is part 6437. I believe this is the foam bumper that goes with the X01. And keep in mind this splitter mount, everything on the front of this right here, this is already off of an X01. I'll have to figure out something, but I think I can cut some of this away and then just tuck it nicely up under there, and that'll hopefully help keep a lot of that wind from getting up, shooting up underneath of here, because I think that's a lot of where the air gets in here somehow. So blocking that might be a good idea. So let me cut that up. I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to attempt to use a knife to help, you know, to cut some of this front portion off of the foam. We'll see how this goes. I started trying to do it with a side cutters like that. That was not working very well. So we'll see if I can get it cut with this. Yeah, knife works way better. And look at that, I already got a decent sized chunk out of that, guys. Looks like absolute garbage, but let's see if it helps tuck that up underneath the bumper a little bit better. Yeah, that's gonna work nicely, I think. And you know what, guys? I can probably just put a slightly longer screw through here. I can probably find a longer screw that comes to the bottom there. And there's a hole right here where that's probably all I need to do. And with this tucked just like that, it should hold it nicely. Yeah, I'm liking the way that looks, guys. What do you guys think? Now I need to find a much longer screw that can go through there. I apologize because I'm not doing the greatest job of filming all this as I go, but just a little update. I was able to get that to work. I was able to find a screw. I think this is a 4mm maybe, or 3mm screw. And then what I did was just screwed, put the screw all the way through, tighten it down with a nut. The other thing I did was I drilled 2 holes in the bottom, right here and here, and then I put a zip tie through, tighten that down. And then the other thing I did was I also put down some double-sided foam tape. You can't really see it. Well, you might be able to see it on this side. It's not holding the greatest. Put down some double-sided foam tape underneath of there to help hold that down too. And actually, I think it fits actually quite nicely. That front bumper piece actually fits quite nicely in there. So I'm gonna move on. I need to mess with the wheelie bar. So that's probably the next thing I need to do, guys. I need to figure out how to get this wheelie bar on. I put together that wheelie bar, so I just had to basically zip tie the absolute crap out of this thing from all different directions to get this to hold on to the rear bumper. And I think it's on there pretty decent. I had to assemble this. Basically, it's just 3D plastic, it looks like, and it has some bearings that, and it's just held together with like, what, 10 screws. I wanted the wheelie bar to be touching the ground, or pretty close to touching the ground. It's not completely touching the ground when the RC's sitting flat, but if it does start to go up a little bit, then that wheelie bar is dragging across the ground, which is good. And that's what I wanted. I might actually just go ahead and try to install this drive shaft right now also while I'm off camera. I'm just gonna do it off camera. It's just easier to do it off camera than come back and show you guys my progress. So I will be right back with you guys once I get this installed. And this is the end result right here, guys. I am done. I didn't show a lot of it on camera, I know, but I thought, you know, just to make stuff a little bit quicker, because I was figuring out a lot of stuff off camera. So one of the things I did notice, guys, after getting this all together is that these trays right here stick out quite a ways. I didn't realize that. So when I have my battery in here, it's going to be pushing out on this body quite a bit. So that's the one unfortunate thing. I showed you guys what I did with this wheelie bar. Doesn't look the greatest. It's zip tied the crap out of to hold it on. But I mean, it's on there. But I am a little bit worried about how strong it is, because it feels, I don't know, it's like 3D printed plastic or something, so I'm a little bit worried it could break. And then you guys, of course, saw what I did with the battery trays. I think this was a must for an upgrade. I really only need it on one side since I'm only running one 6S pack, but came with 2, so it makes sense to do 2. And maybe to keep this thing down on the ground, I might actually put a 6S pack on either side just to weight down both sides. I might do that. Let's see, what else did I do? Oh, in the end, I did put the Tekno Driveshaft in. I just did that, got that done off camera. That was actually pretty easy. So that is in, so we don't have to worry about our stock driveshaft breaking. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Anyway, guys, if you like all the upgrades I did, go ahead, hit that thumbs up button for me. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, so then you'll be notified when I come out with new videos, because the next video is going to be a running video. We're going to be testing this thing out, and also take a guess in the comments, how fast do you think this thing's going to go? The most we've gotten so far is 70 miles per hour even. We haven't been able to top that, and it doesn't come down to the power either. This has plenty of power. It's coming down to not being able to stay on the ground once we get up to those speeds. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. Later!